When the music dies, when the lights fade, and the laughter is gone, what remains in an abandoned amusement park? Rusting rides, broken dreams, and something else. Something that feeds on silence. Some say these forgotten parks are not empty. They're graveyards of joy, haunted by those who never left. Tonight, we'll walk through the shadowy ruins of thrill rides that should have been forgotten forever. But be warned, once you step inside these parks, you might never walk back out. There's something unsettling about amusement parks after they close down. When you picture them, you think of neon lights, the smell of cotton candy, and the sound of children's laughter echoing against the night sky. But when those parks die, what's left behind is nothing short of terrifying. Imagine walking through a crumbling midway where the rides stand frozen in time. A Ferris wheel towering against the moonlight, swaying in the wind. A carousel of horses, chipped and rotting, their painted smiles stretched into grotesque grins. Rides meant to spark joy now look like skeletal remains of a carnival graveyard. And yet, explorers who have entered these places swear they aren't alone. They describe the feeling of being watched, hearing faint music with no source, and worst of all, the sound of children laughing in the distance, long after the rides stopped spinning. These aren't just empty parks, they're prisons, and the spirits inside? They're still waiting for their turn to ride. Our first unsolved mystery begins in Riverside Amusements, a small town park that shut down in 1979. Its pride was a 100-foot Ferris wheel, painted bright red and gold, visible from miles away. But the park's downfall began with disappearances. In the summer of 1978, 3 teenagers snuck into the park after dark. Witnesses saw them climbing onto the Ferris wheel for a midnight ride. The operator claimed he turned it on for them, watched as the cabins rose into the night sky. But when the ride ended, the cabins were empty. The teenagers had vanished. The police searched the grounds for weeks. No bodies, no clues, just 3 empty seats swaying in the night breeze. After the closure, urban explorers snuck in to see the abandoned wheel. Some claimed it still moved on its own, turning slowly under the moonlight, though no electricity powered it. Others swore they saw pale faces staring out of the cabins as it spun. In 1993, one explorer's camcorder was found shattered beneath the ride. The last frame captured something horrifying. 3 skeletal figures pressed against the glass, inside one cabin, their mouths open in silent screams. The boy who filmed it, he was never seen again. In another town, a traveling carnival left behind its funhouse, a maze of mirrors and painted corridors known as the House of Laughs. Children loved it, until they started disappearing. Between 1982 and 1984, 4 children were reported missing inside the funhouse. Parents swore they entered, but never came out. Police searched every inch of the maze. No secret doors, no trapdoors, and yet, the children were gone. When investigators tore the building apart, they found something chilling. Tiny handprints smeared on the inside of mirrors, as though something or someone was trapped behind the glass. Even after the funhouse was dismantled, locals claimed they could hear faint carnival music playing in the empty lot where it once stood. And on some nights, parents walking past swore they heard children's laughter mixed with cries for help. One father, desperate to find his daughter, returned to the ruins every year. In 1996, he brought a tape recorder. What he captured chilled experts to the bone. First, only static, then faint laughter, and finally his daughter's voice whispering, "Daddy, I'm still inside." The father vanished shortly after. His car was found abandoned outside the ruins of the funhouse. His body was never recovered. No exploration of haunted parks is complete without mentioning the infamous roller coaster, the Devil's Spine. Built in the 1950 seconds, it was the tallest wooden coaster of its time, stretching like a giant ribcage across the park. But from day one, it was cursed. At its grand opening, The very first cart derailed on the first drop, killing 6 passengers instantly. Despite repairs, the deaths continued. Safety bars gave way, seats flew loose. Riders claimed to feel invisible hands pushing them out. By the time the park shut down, 13 lives had been claimed. Explorers who visited the ruins say the coaster still moves. The carts, they say, rattle along the tracks in the dead of night. Some witnesses swear the carts aren't empty, that they're filled with pale, screaming figures riding in endless loops of death. In 2003, a journalist tried to debunk the legend. His audio recorder captured hours of silence until the final minutes. You hear chains dragging, wheels screeching, and dozens of voices screaming in terror. Then, his voice. "Oh God, it's full. The seats are full." The tape ends with a bone-crunching snap. The journalist was never seen again. If there's one ride that should feel safe, it's the carousel. But in Redwood Park, the carousel was anything but. The horses were beautifully carved, their eyes painted with eerie precision. Locals joked the artist had trapped real souls in the wood. But no one laughed after 1966, when children started vanishing mid-ride. One boy, Daniel, was last seen climbing onto a white stallion. When the carousel stopped, the horse was empty, but its painted eyes had changed color. 6 more children disappeared the same way. Each time, the horses looked different, faces twisted into grotesque grins, eyes darker, hollower. When the park closed, the carousel was abandoned deep in the woods. Campers who stumbled across it reported hearing faint calliope music at night. Some claimed the horses moved, bobbing up and down without power. And the bravest or most foolish said when they touched the horses, they felt faint heartbeats beneath the wood. If you pressed your ear close enough, you could hear children crying inside. Individually, these cases seem like isolated urban legends, but historians uncovered a chilling truth. Every one of these cursed rides, the Ferris wheel, the funhouse, the roller coaster, the carousel, was owned by the same company, Blackwood and Sons Amusements. The company vanished in the early 1990 seconds. No trace of the owners, no records. It was as if the business had been erased from history, and yet, the rides remain. Scattered across forgotten fields and wooded lots, rotting in silence, and every so often, new disappearances occur. Explorers, urban thrill seekers, children who wandered too close. The mysteries remain unsolved. Asterisk. So the next time you stumble across the skeleton of an old amusement park, don't let curiosity get the better of you. Don't step onto the rides. Don't listen for the music. And above all, don't look too closely at the mirrors or the painted eyes of carousel horses, because those parks are not abandoned. They're waiting. Every rusting beam, every silent ride, every faint laugh drifting through the night is a reminder. The carnival never dies, it just hides. And if you ever hear the faint creak of a Ferris wheel turning in the dark, run, because the rides are still hungry, and once they take you, you'll be part of the show forever. Asterisk. As you flick the lights back on, remember this tale of terror, and join us for more. If you enjoyed the darkness, please subscribe, hit that like button, and let us know your reactions in the comments. Share this spine-chilling story with friends to keep the fright going.